Go ahead. Turn it up. It's the Record Machine Show with your host, Jimmy Howe.
Punk rock ruined my life, it made me sick, yeah it did. I should have listened to the Eagles and played more sports when I was a kid. Yeah, well, punk rock ruined my life, it made me weird, Now I'm always fighting up against my disposition. Take you boys! It made me mean. Yeah, well, punk rock made me do a whole lot of stupid fucking things. Yeah, well, punk rock ruined my life. It made me fight. Yeah, well, punk rock made me fight. Take it, boys! Now.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Thirsty Curses, singer, guitarist, Wilson Getchell. How you doing, Wilson?
I'm pretty good.
Where are you calling from?
Raleigh, North Carolina.
I'm in North Myrtle Beach in South Carolina.
Oh yeah, I thought maybe you were in New Jersey with the area code.
Well, I used to be, and I moved down here 4 years ago. Love it.
Yeah, it's nice down there. I'm sure it's hard to stay out of trouble living there.
No, I behave myself pretty much. I mean, I'm a little bit older, so I don't really get into too much trouble anymore. Probably if I was younger when I moved out here, I probably would have gotten into a lot of shenanigans.
Yeah, we played there a few years ago when I was like on a sober kick, and I made it through without drinking. I felt good, but anyway, enough about that.
I came across you guys on Instagram, and I thought you guys were really cool. That's why I reached out to you.
Awesome. That's cool. I kind of always wonder if these posts are reaching anybody.
No, they do. I find a lot of my guests actually from Instagram and some groups on Facebook.
Nice.
Yeah, that's basically how I recruit my guests for my show. I love searching out and finding, new bands to introduce to people,
Hell yeah.
So you're originally from North Carolina?
No, actually, I'm originally from Richmond, Virginia, as is Clayton. We actually knew each other like when we were kids. I've lived here since 2015. Mm-hmm. And I guess Clay probably moved down here in 2018. But I moved around a lot after I graduated high school. I spent some time out in Arizona, and I lived in Austin for 6 years, and sort of ended up here by accident. I was married for a time.
Okay.
Been here for, I guess, however many, 8 years or something.
Very cool. Now tell me about your musical background. When did you first get involved in music?
I first started playing the drums when I was like 13 or 14. My brother, who's like 9 years older than me, had given me somewhat of like a rock music education through a series of birthdays and Christmases. He gave me like tons and tons of CDs from like the 50s, 60s. Like he gave like 6 from each decade. Mm-hmm. And that kind of got me interested in it. He gave me like Sgt. Pepper, and I got really into the Beatles and like bought all their albums in the order they came out and stuff. And then started kind of wanting to play. And I started with the drums just because I knew a guitarist, and we were like, well, if we're going to start a band, we'll need a drummer, so I'll do that. Mm-hmm. And then, I just started kind of picking up I started playing guitar shortly thereafter, and so on and so forth. And really just been kind of doing it ever since, I guess.
So you're kind of like a Dave Grohl.
I guess so, yeah. I mean, I certainly play a little bit of everything. I've been thinking about this lately because I've been doing some recording, and just like I don't really consider myself a guitar player, but like I play guitar.
Right.
Like I don't really consider myself a drummer necessarily, but I play the drums. But yeah, I mean, I guess I kind of do the singer-songwriter thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it helps, obviously, to be able to play different instruments. And also just, once you kind of get down that path, it just kind of starts to all make sense, I've found, at least. I started playing piano maybe about 10 years ago or something. And now that's kind of my favorite. But I just noticed that after having played, the guitar, the drums, the bass, the banjo, the ukulele, etc., that the piano wasn't all that difficult to come by. But.
Yeah. Now, I believe every band or artist is influenced by someone. Who are some of your influences?
I mean, they're legion, they're a lot, but I mentioned the Beatles and certainly like that kind of stuff. But I mean, punk rock was a big thing for me. I guess too, that kind of got me playing. But yeah, I mean, like I certainly, Nirvana was a big deal when I was a kid. So a lot of the grunge stuff. More recent bands. I mean, when I was in college, I went through a big Modest Mouse thing. This band Deer Tick, I really like a lot through the years. They're probably a big influence. Jeff Rosenstock in recent years, and he had a band before too called Bomb the Music Industry. But I don't know. I mean, I have a lot. I certainly have eclectic tastes or whatever, but I think to some degree it shows in our music. I mean, it's a little all over the place if you kind of take time to dig through. We definitely genre hop a bit. But what's a band in recent years that I've been, in recent years I've actually been kind of listening to a little more maybe singer-songwriter-esque in the proper sense, like Jonathan Richmond. Mm-hmm. Jeffrey Lewis lately has been a big guy that I've been enjoying a lot. Really been into the Silver Jews and Purple Mountains in the years too. Which, I mean, some of that stuff's a little more subdued than stuff I probably listened to in my more younger years or something. But
very cool. Now let's talk about the band. When did you guys form, and who were the players?
Band formed in 2017, and there's definitely been some turnover. I've kind of been joking lately that we put Spinal Tap ain't got nothing on us. We've had like so many drummers, but I mean, Clay and I have been the two mainstays. And he even came on sort of after like the first year. But there was a guy named Trad Yancey playing the drums at the start. And a guy named Kelly Otwell played lead guitar. And Kelly's sort of been in and out of the picture. He was around for the first album, then he quit the band, then he came back like a year later. And then during the pandemic, he left again just because of all of that stuff. But lately, he's been coming back around too. So he's been sort of in and out of the picture. But he's been the lead guitarist for most of the band's existence, and Clay playing the bass. And I guess I've been doing most of the songwriting for the band. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of had a backlog of songs when I moved to Raleigh around like 2015, and I'd been moving around a lot over the previous years, and so was just kind of anxious to get like a project going that I could lean into for a couple of years. Mm-hmm. And so I met some guys at open mics, kind of something together, and yeah, I mean, it's hard to kind of keep the same. I've found at least the same everyone on board when there's not like a lot of money coming in. But yeah, I don't know. We had a guy named Evan Miller playing drums for us for a couple of years. He moved out to Asheville like a year and a half ago with his girlfriend. So just sometimes life gets in the way too, I guess. Things like that. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I sort of meandered off the original question. But.
No, that's all right. Now, the name Thirsty Curses, how did that come about?
We've been kicking around several names in the early period. in that 2017 period. And I guess we just decided on it. We were actually driving up to DC for a show, and at that time we were going by the Forgotten Man, and that was like right after Trump had been elected, and he was like saying that all the time. So we're like, we have to change our name. and I don't know. I mean, certainly like there's certainly like an alcohol connotation there. It's sort of like, you know, a clever way to say alcoholism, but then it also has like sort of a double entendre, thirsty sort of meaning, you know, horny these days. And as kids say, slang. But so I guess just sort of the name of it is about, you know, being compelled by things that are ultimately maybe not the greatest for you.
This podcast is going to feature 2 of your tracks, Punk Rock Ruined My Life and the tune A Baptist and a Rabbi. What's the story behind those two songs?
A Baptist and a Rabbi is off our last album. It came out in March 2022, and it's sort of about a search for meaning, I guess. It's sort of like a song about almost like a modern day pilgrimage. Oh, sorry.
It's all right.
Modern day pilgrimage and sort of a search for meaning. The song actually took a long time to finish. I started writing it years and years ago, but during the pandemic kind of finally got around to finishing it. But I guess I like it a lot because it's like linear in the song structure, like no musical parts repeat. Mm-hmm. And I think it's really interesting and kind of and cool, and has like a deep lyrical subjects, etc. And then Punk Rock Ruined My Life is entirely the opposite in some sense. I mean, it's sort of like a little novelty song that's been around for a little bit, but it's just sort of, it actually sprung out of a joke between a friend of mine and I about how punk rock had ruined our lives in all the various ways. And it rolled into this whole like narrative about how we were going to start a philanthropic organization that went around to high schools passing out Eagles records, you know, to warn to warn kids about the dangers of punk rock music. And I don't know, I just thought that idea was so funny. I like wrote a song around it, and we just released that single like 2 weeks ago, or less than 2 weeks ago, like a week and a half ago. It was fun. I guess, you know, the song has been kicking around for a while. It's like, it's been a part of our live set, and I just never really had wanted, or just hadn't been particularly motivated to record it. But one night in December, we were just kind of sitting around bored, and there's like a studio in the house, and it just ended up, I don't know, we knocked it out, and so we're like, well, let's put this out. So yeah, that's like pretty fresh off the presses, I guess. And there's like a music video actually for both. The music video for A Baptist and a Rabbi, we actually filmed with this guy named Gary Spivey, who's a celebrity psychic.
Okay.
And like he basically, the music video sort of explores like cult themes. It's sort of modeled around like Heaven's Gate or something like that. Mm-hmm. And Gary Spivey plays the cult leader. Yeah, it was pretty. We filmed it he lives in Star, North Carolina. I guess we realized that he lived near us, and so we kind of have this thing of like a lot of our music videos, we incorporate people or talent around us. Like I knew some people who are connected to the professional wrestling world, but you know, so we have like a video with like a bunch of wrestlers, and we have like a stage play video with a bunch of actors we knew. So this was kind of similar thing to that, but we roped him in, and he put us up in one of his bed and breakfasts in Star, North Carolina. And it is crazy. There's like all these pictures of him with like celebrities all over the walls, like nice. Ozzy Osbourne, like LaToya Jackson, Robin Williams.
Wow.
I guess all of these people came to him for palm readings or something. I don't know, but they were very nice, and I definitely don't. Yeah, they were incredible and put us up and like helped us make that video come, which was really great. And then so I guess. Yeah, that's what I have to say about those songs right now.
One of the things that drew me into you guys was your music videos. It looks like you're having a lot of fun now. Do you guys enjoy shooting the music video as much as writing and recording the songs? Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of all... I mean, it's definitely fun. We definitely have a good time doing it. We did this other one this summer for a song called Jenny that was... it's like a puppet theme. It's like we basically did it all with green screens and puppets, but it's like modeled around Natural Born Killers or like Pulp Fiction.
Right.
So it's pretty violent, but it's puppets and they don't have souls, so we figured that's okay. But but that video anyway, it was that was very time consuming, albeit very fun. But it was that was one instance where I think we bit off more than we could chew. Although it came out really great. It just literally took us months because it was like so much green screen editing and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, Clay is particularly interested in the video line. Like, I mean, I'm interested in it too. But so he's really facilitated and directed a lot of music videos, which kind of works out, I guess, in like a division of labor sense of the band, in that I do a lot of the songwriting and he kind of takes the wheel on a lot of the music video stuff.
Now, even though MTV is gone, you still believe that making a music video is still, good for marketing, correct?
I do. And I saw something actually on Twitter about this very subject like a week or something ago. Someone asking if the music video was dead. And I guess I think it's like an art form in its own right too. And then, music videos existed prior to MTV.
Right.
Too. So, but yeah, I mean, I noticed a lot of the times, because I mean, I've been playing in unknown bands from all my life.
Okay.
When I would post stuff on social media that was just like a song or something, no one would ever click on it. And I just noticed at one point that if you give people something to watch, they're more likely to listen to your song.
Right.
So, I mean, I think that it's actually maybe even more important now than ever. I mean, even if you're just doing something where sort of almost in the TikTok format, where you're like making something so that people engage with the music more.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, nowadays too, like people are so used to, I think, getting their entertainment to incorporate all of their senses. You can't just, I think that, having something to go with the music is kind of pretty important. In the past, I've even likened it to like the bread around a sandwich.
Right.
So
makes total sense. Now, in 2017, you guys released Holy Moly. In 2018, you released All Shook Up. In 2019, Thirsty Curses. Now, do you have any plans on releasing another full-length album anytime soon? And if so, when?
Yeah. And then we put out To the Ends of the Earth in 2022. But yeah, no, I mean, we're actually pretty deep into recording. Kind of went on a frenzy in December and January. So there's like more or less an album's worth of songs that's largely recorded, but we're kind of tweaking and adding and subtracting and marinating and things. So yeah, I mean, the goal is to have that out at some point before this year's out. And then incidentally too, we actually have a vinyl coming out sometime this summer through Fake Chapter Records, which is actually, I guess it's based out of New York.
Okay.
It's like a small, but they're pressing a sort of like a best of comp on vinyl.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I love vinyl. I have like, I have like a couple thousand albums.
Yeah, I think 2020, they surpassed CD sales for the first time since like 1985 or something.
I know. Isn't that pretty cool?
Yeah. I mean, it makes total sense. I mean, and like, we have CDs and stuff, but we very rarely sell them. And when we do, I always kind of get the sense that people are just trying to give us money.
Right. Well, everybody's doing like the Bandcamp thing now, right? They're doing the, buying the digital downloads, because most people who buy a car nowadays, if it's a new car, there is no CD player in it, so they have no way of playing it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know that. I guess some people have some success selling things on Bandcamp. We've had some, but certainly not. I mean, I find that people are, most people are just streaming music. The entire model, is on its head from what it was, 30 years ago or whatever, where you would, you try to get people to buy your music by having them come to your show. And now you give away your music and hope they'll come to your show.
Yeah, it's amazing how the business has changed, right?
It has. I mean, and also there's been like an explosion in, there's just so many more bands and artists now competing for everyone's attention. I mean, it's good. And I think that, but it just makes it in a sense harder to break through, because it's like, I'd heard someone liken it to like walking down a street in like a city where there's like buskers every 5 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So you really can't hear anyone.
Right.
And then you turn a corner, it's just filled with the same ratio of people. So, I mean, it's just, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that, but
I know
it's all just totally different now. That's for sure.
Definitely. Now, over the last few years, you guys have been voted the best indie band at the 2022 Richmond International Film Festival, voted best in festival for Bruises on Your Shoulders music video at the Broadcast Association Festival of Media Arts, and you're also the runner-up in 2020 for the Mid-Atlantic Battle of the Bands at Jam and Java in Northern Virginia. What's it like being nominated and then even winning a few times for your music?
I mean, it's certainly nice, and I mean, even on a smaller scale, it's always incredibly nice to hear anybody of any, just some random person say that they've gotten something out of what we do. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, if it weren't for stuff like that, I probably wouldn't still be doing it. But
it's got to be a good feeling, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's because it's obviously, sometimes it can be pretty discouraging world to operate in. Just because, to some degree, like some of the stuff I was just mentioning, it's not all wine and roses is all. So like, in recent years, I've really learned to kind of take in and appreciate whenever anyone has anything nice to say about the music. It's at the same time, sometimes put in, a lot of energy and work into it and can feel like it's unnoticed. So it's very nice when someone takes the time to say that they've appreciated it and value it.
Yeah, that's got to be cool. Now, outside of music, what do you like to do for fun?
I mean, I do a lot of the music stuff, but one weird thing I'm into is baseball. I don't really like sports, but I really like baseball. Grew up like a Braves fan, so
that's cool.
Yeah, that's one thing. I recently discovered I like roller skating again. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
And then I don't know. I got a dog. Go hiking with him a lot. I like drinking beers. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a homeowner now, so sometimes I do stuff around the house and fix things up.
That's cool.
But yeah, a lot of the music. Yeah, I don't know. I like doing outdoorsy stuff, camping, stuff like that.
Now, do you guys have any shows coming up that you want to talk about?
We just finished a run of shows. We have we're doing like a little run in the end of May, June. We're doing a couple shows down in the Charleston area, actually.
Nice.
At Awandagh Green on, I think, whatever that last Wednesday of May is. And then that Friday, we're in North Charleston at the Mill. And then that Saturday, we're back in Raleigh at the Night Rider. So it's sort of like 3 shows in 4 days or something. So
awesome. Now, that'll be good. Do you guys have a website you'd like to promote?
We sure do. Thirstycurses.com. I mean, we do have a pretty good, I forget what the term is, SEO or something. If you type in Thirsty Curses, we're pretty much the only one out there. There's not like a Thirsty Curses bar and saloon or anything.
Right.
But yeah, thirstycurses.com. Pretty much all the social media / Thirsty Curses is where we're at. And our YouTube, same thing. It's like youtube.com/c/Thirsty Curses. But that would be kind of where I direct people. Would be our YouTube page. But we're on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram, or wherever you are, we're already there too. So
awesome. Now, is there anything you'd like to mention that we didn't talk about today?
Yeah, just check out the new single, I guess, Punk Rock Ruined My Life, and keep an eye out for the vinyl that's coming out later this year and the full length. And in the lead up to that too, we're actually going to put out a couple other standalone singles. Mm-hmm. There's like a couple songs that have been recorded with totally different arrangements than they were presented the first time.
Okay.
So putting out a couple of those ahead of the full length. So those will be coming down the pike in the next couple months too. So yeah, I guess there's a lot on the horizon. So just kind of, keep an eye out for, or an ear out for us, I guess. Eyes and ears.
That's awesome. Well, Wilson, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show today and sharing your stories and your music with us, man. I really dig you guys, and I wish you the best of luck with the new music coming out, and looking forward to hearing it in the future.
Awesome. Well, thank you, James, and thank you for having me.
Well, you're welcome. Let's stay in touch. Next time you got something coming out and you want to come back on the show, let's do it, all right?
Absolutely. Sounds like a plan. Look forward to it.
All right, man. Take care.
All right, you too.
Bye-bye.
Together on account of a series of misfortune. There was a Baptist and a rabbi. We had a Marxist and an orphan, and we got trashed. It took 40 days and nights to pass. Then we set out to uncover some sort of cosmic explanation for the pain of our existence and mortal limitations. Some kind of map that's gonna lead us to salvation at last. Saving up for a fresh start and a new heart and an American girl. I wanna see the sunrise. Some folks go walking on the water. We just sink down and get washed over. There's never been a worse time to climb out from under your rock. I'm sorry, baby, if I spoiled the party. You know I can't come undone. And the scars on my face tell the tale of disgrace. We both know I'm no good on my own, 'cause I'm not much of a man, but by now I'm due for a win. Yeah, you know what they say, that a broken clock's right twice a day. Well, I know you think and I don't give a damn. I've learned a few tricks of my own. Yeah, you came all this way, what the hell did you expect? But all worked out in the end.
The Record Machine Show is a weekly radio podcast produced by Jimmy Howell Productions. All rights reserved. For information regarding distribution or adding this podcast to your website, please visit our contact page at therecordmachineshow.com to submit your request. Thanks for listening. See you next time on The Record Machine Show.
The Record Machine Show.